Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how you guys can YY if you are playing with a PS5 controller. So to YY is very easy, most especially if you are playing on PC or you are playing on PS5 or you're playing on Xbox. It's actually easy for you guys to YY by just one click of a button. So let me just show you guys by entering my firing range and showing you guys how I do YY. So I'm just going to pick up my Superi, which is actually good for YY, and my KSV. And as you can see, by just one click of my L2, I'm able to spam the YY. So if you're interested in learning something like this, in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how you guys can YY macro, and it helps with the movement and everything. And I actually switch my weapon with the touchpad and I steam up with triangle. So if you're not a fan of doing that, and you are interested in putting probably your macro, your YY on your R3 or your L3, or your R3. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can do that, and I'm going to be giving you guys the best DS4 settings, and I'm also going to be giving you guys the best Warzone settings. And if you're interested in getting like the best audio settings for whereby you can hear your enemy footstep and just every other things you guys need to know to play like a pro, this is the right video for you, because I'm going to be teaching you guys all that in this video. So without wasting much of our time, let me just enter the game and show you guys this actually works in game. So I'm just going to be doing that real quick, and yeah, let's go. About to land in the game, so I'm going to go for the loadout, so that way I can get my I'm going to go for the key card, that way I can get my loadout quickly. And I see I do have something right here, so I'm just going to ignore all of them. Oh my days, I turned out the ring. And you can see that I use my YY to escape here so easily. That was actually a real player. I think nobody came for the key card actually, so I'm just gonna drive the car and go and redeem the key card. Those guys are definitely real players. I have a feeling that someone is inside that place. You can hear the person footstep. I had that feeling that someone was inside and I was correct. I'm just gonna use the key card. I thought it was smart. I'm gonna pick up my loadout and just show you guys. You guys can actually see by me just clicking my L2. As you can see, I'm being able to YY. I don't know. Let me just pick up my loadout and show you guys. Just pick up the loadout, and you can see by just one click, I'm able to YY even with the Superi and with my KSV also. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how you guys can YY. So I'm just gonna take my thumbnail real quick. I do have sticks, so you can see I'm moving sideways by myself. I'm just gonna take my thumbnail. So this is gonna be my thumbnail. So if you don't have stick drift and it's really bad, I can actually show you guys a quick fix on how you guys can fix drift in this video. So as you can see, I'm being able to YY with just by the click of L2, and I use my steam with triangle as I said earlier. By just one click of my triangle, I'm being able to steam, and if I'm trying to play it up, I'm just going to have to hold my touchpad down, and that way I can play it up. if I'm trying to switch up my weapon too, it's still the same thing. This touchpad acts like my triumph. So anytime I click on my touchpad, I can YY like that. I actually play with a normal PS5 controller. It does not have the back paddle, so that's why I actually use mine like that. You guys real quick how you guys can set up your YY in a bit. So let me just find 2 more people to kill and probably eliminate them. That way I think that's actually going to serve like a good I thought I still had stem. About to stem and slide. Oh my days. I'm so used to this thing. There's one, I think there's more person. Bro thought he was slick with that. So that was his teammate. That was his teammate. Coming back for him. Anyways, the gameplay is actually the focus of this video. The focus of this video is actually to teach you guys how you guys can YY, which I'm going to be doing in a bit. So my apologies if I'm making this video longer, so I just want to kill that guy, then I'm going to back out once I'm killed, wiped out their squad. Oh my days. That guy actually is my friend. That's me. Actually use my kilo to kill me, or my KSV to kill me. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Shut the up. Stop being crazy. Just need a good weapon. That's all. I downed him, dumbass. Even though I stick him. idea was let's kill that guy, which I did. Even though they are stuck, and I still keep on killing them. Oh my days. Anyways, that's the squad wipe, which I suppose. So now we are able to show you guys settings that I was about to show you guys without wasting much time. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's go into my Warzone settings first of all. So for my Warzone settings, my controller settings, I usually crank this up to 3, but because this is my first game, that's why I left it in 2.8. So I shoot with L1 R1. So if you're wondering how you can shoot with L1 R1, you have to turn on this LB swap. So that way you'll be able to shoot with L1 R1. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is L1 and this is R1. I don't shoot with L2 R2. So for those that are wondering. So for my dead zone, I do have crazy stick drift. If you guys are wondering, if you guys want to see my stick drift, as you can see my controller, that's why you notice that my character keep moving by itself, because I do have stick drift. It's moving to the left by itself. And if you're wondering how you guys can fix this stick drift, as you can see, the numbers are really high. So if you're wondering how you can fix it, you just have to increase this to probably like 15. As you can see, as I increased it, it is kind of moving to 0%, but I still have crazy stick drift on this controller, so I just prefer to leave it in 5 because I'm kind of used to it. I'm actually getting a new controller. I already ordered it, so it's on its way. So this is my settings for my the movement for my dead zone. And for my aiming advanced settings, let me show you guys what that looks like. I play instant assist and linear. So I just actually tried linear. I usually play at dynamic, so I just started using linear because I heard that it's kind of good. So for my sensitivity multiplier, these are the settings. You can just copy and paste my sensitivity. And for my movement advanced settings, I do play with tactical sprint assist. I use the low mantle assist, but whenever I want to focus more on my movements, I usually turn this off, because this kind of give you a disadvantage. If you guys are trying to do movements and move closer to objects, it's kind of automatically move closer, climb the object, and it's kind of spoil your movements. So I usually play tap to slide. I don't like hybrid right from day one. I've not been a fan of hybrid. So for my movement advanced settings, you guys should just copy all the settings that you're seeing right here. And also, I think that's all the settings we need right here. So for those that are wondering, okay, my graphic settings, it looks really good. Let me show you guys the secrets to my settings. So you just have to come over to interface, and whenever you're in interface, you come over to readability, and you have to come down to color customization. So these are my color customization. You can just copy all the settings you are seeing right here, and my color filter is in filter 2. It's very important to put it in filter 2, and I have it in both. My color filter target is in both, and I have both in 100%, so that way my game is always very colorful. So I think that's all the settings you'll be needing for the color settings. So I think that's, and also for my audio settings, the way I'm able to know the exact spot of an enemy and to hear my enemy movements. So if you come over to audio settings real quick, and you come over to okay, as you can see, this is my audio settings. I have my enhanced audio, my enhanced headphone mode is turned on, and I play with Sucker Punch. And also for my this part is very important. If you are trying to hear the footstep, you have to come over to configure frequency intensity, and you have to copy these settings you are seeing right here. That way you'll be able to hear the enemy footsteps. So you have to use the same settings that you are seeing right here on your right channel also. So those are the settings that helps with the movement. And also I do pay for Dolby, because I play on PC, so I'm able to pay for the Dolby what's it called, the Dolby audio. Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about real quick. If you come over to your audio settings, you would see I do pay for the Dolby Atmos for headphone, the Dolby Atmos. So I do pay for it. I think it's just around $5 or so. This is the software, the main software, if you're wondering. Dolby Access. what did I just open? I opened something else, my bad. So this is the real doubly. I don't know. So for my doubly settings, I actually have the gaming mode turned on. So I'm just gonna show you guys my doubly settings real quick. So as you can see, the game mode is turned on and is in performance. So it's very, very important to turn this performance mode on. So I actually paid for an for what's it called, but that's out of the way anyways. So the main important part which you guys are concerned about is the YY aspect. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how you guys can YY, and I'm going to be choosing, I'm not going to be using my normal settings to YY. I'm going to be putting the YY on the triangle. If I enter my firing range real quick right now, and if you see that if I click on the triangle, it does not do anything. So my triangle works in the game as for me to steam up, so that way it does not, you can't actually steam up in firing range. So that's why I'm unable to do anything with the triangle. I actually do YY with my L2. I switch my weapon with the touchpad. So I'm going to be teaching you how you guys can YY with just the click of triangle. And just I'm just gonna leave the controller as default, and I'm going to show you guys how you guys can use probably your R3 to YY. So let me just go over to showing you guys how you guys can download the software. The software is called DS4 Windows. So as you can see, this is my TikTok page right here. You guys should okay, let me just, I think I need to switch over the recording stuff, because this stuff is not going to record my screen with this software. So I need to change my software. I need to open OBS Studio. So you guys should give me 1 sec, because I'll have to change the interface to my screen so you guys can see my screen directly and not see my screen from my phone, because I'm recording with my phone also. So you guys should give me 1 sec real quick. All right, I just changed I just opened my my OBS Studio. So let me just start recording. I think this is going to capture my screen. All right, so as I was saying, for you to be able to YY with your for you to be able to YY, you need to come over to, okay, as you can see, I was okay. I remember what I was saying earlier. I was actually showing you guys my TikTok page, so you guys should show me some love by following my TikTok if you want to. It's not important. So as you can see, I do upload a lot of videos daily concerning how you guys can YY. This is the video I uploaded, I think, yesterday. So as you can see, I do upload a lot of videos on my TikTok, and I do have millions of views also. So what you need to do is to come over to Google and search for DS4 Windows. So you search for DS4 Windows download, then that way you'll be able to download the software which you use for YY. So you're just going to need to come over to these sites right here, which says ds4windows.com, and if you come over to this site, you'll be able to download the DS4 software. I will recommend you guys should download the older version for the DS4 Windows if you do have a low-end PC. That way you won't be getting any FPS drop whenever you are playing the game. So if you don't know how to download the older version, you just have to click on the download and you scroll down, and you'll be able to see a lot of older version. So you can just download any of the old versions. So once you have downloaded the file, you need to unzip the file. So when you download the file, for example, this is how the file is going to appear. So I have I created a folder separately for my DS4. So when you unzip the file, this is how it's going to look. So you need to open up DS4 Windows, and also once you connect your controller via Bluetooth or via cable, it's going to appear right here. If your controller is not appearing right here, I made a video concerning how to fix your PS5 controller not appearing in DS4, so that you can just go and check that video out. So once you connect your controller, by default yours is going to look like this. It's going to be in default. So you'll be needing to create a new profile. So I'll just create a new profile, and you click on yes, and you will leave this in Xbox 360 and click on apply, and you would need to be naming this profile. So you name this profile, let me just name it YY for noob. So once you have created the YY, the profile, you're going to need to save the profile. So you'll be needing to change this default to the new profile you just created, which is YY for noob. So once you have done that, you're by default, if you enter the game right now, you see whenever I click on L2, it does not work. It does not YY because the controller is as default. So right now your triangle is as triangle, everything is as default, your shooting, everything is just like a default PS5 controller. So now I'm going to be teaching you guys how you guys can turn this your L3 your R3 to YY. So that way anytime you just click on the R3, which is this middle button right here, you'll be good to YY. So you just need to come over to edit and you need to click on your R3. So once you've clicked on the R3, you click on record a macro and you need to change this to repeat while add, and you need to click the check mark the record delay. So once you have done that, you click on record and you're going to be needing to click on triangle just twice, 1 and 2. So once you have done that, yours should appear like this on the screen. So once you have done that, you click on stop and you'll be changing this value. For this video, we'll be using 30. You have to change the value to. Before I jump in, shout out to today's sponsor, Mitch Cactus. If you want mastery camos or legit COD service, you guys should check out Mitch Cactus and use my code Dobby to get 10% off your order. Link in the description. And please don't forget to get this video to 50 likes. It really helps out. 30. You change everything to 30. 30 also. And the last one also should be 30. So once you have done that and you click on save, if you come over to your game and you click on the R3, as you can see, by me just holding my R3, I'm being able to YY. So that way you can move and click on R3. But I don't actually recommend you using R3 to YY, because use your R3 to aim and shoot. So you can actually put your R3 on you can actually put your YY on your L3, not your R3. So let me just show you guys. So you're just going to return the you're just going to remove the macro on the R3. So by you removing, if you don't know how to remove it, you just have to click on the R3 and you click on right stick. So that way you have removed the macro on the R3. So now we are going to record a macro, the YY, on your L3. So click on the L3, you click on just the same process that I said earlier. You change this to repeat while add, record delay, record, and you're going to click on triangle twice, 1, 2. That's all. You click on stop and you can change this value to 30. We'll be using 30 for this video. So 30, this one also 30, and this one also 30. So we're going to click on save and you click on, so once you have clicked on save, it's saved. So if I click on my L3, as you can see, it works as my YY. So that way I can use my L3 to YY, and I can still use my controller as default. I can use my triangle to switch my weapon, my box to reload. Everything is still as default. I can actually, if you shoot with L2 R2, you can see your L2 R2 to shoot, and if you don't use your Steam with L1 R1, you can still do that also. So I think that's all for the YY aspect. So for those that are trying to get sticky aim, and if you're trying to remove input delay from your controller, it's very easy. If you notice that whenever you click a button on your controller, it do take time for it to respond in the game. It's very easy for you to overclock your controller. So for you to do that, you'll be needing a software called HIDUSBF. You just have to come over to Google and search HIDUSBF. So this is the software. You're just going to need to download this GitHub file. You click on the file and you click on download zip file. So once you've downloaded the zip file, you just need to, I have my zip file in DS4 Windows right here on my desktop. So if I come over to the HIDUSBF, you click on HIDUSBF. Once you unzip the file, you see the driver, then you come over to setup. You click on yes. I'd actually overclock my controller because of some reason, because I do have stick drift, and whenever I do all these settings on my controller, I do have FPS drop because I'm not really playing on an high-end PC, so that's why. So when you open the HIDUSBF, this is what it's going to look like. You'll be needing to change this to all, and you would find the part where it says what's it called? You find the part where it says what's it called? Dual sense. So you need, for this you'll be needing to connect your controller via USB. If you don't see your if you don't see dual sense, you'll be needing to connect it via USB. I can't actually see dual sense. I'm going to connect it via USB. As you can see, I just connected it via USB. As you can see, it appeared here, which it says dual sense. So if you don't know how to check if your controller do have stick drift, you just need to come over to PS4 Windows and you open the software. So if you open the software and you come over to controller readings, as you can see, this controller do have input delay. That's what I meant. If you don't know how to check if your controller do have input delay, that's how you can check if your controller do have input delay. So what we are trying to get rid of is this 3.45 milliseconds input delay. You just have to click on the controller which says dual sense, and you need to check mark the filter on device and you change this to 8000 and you click on install service. So if you click on install service and you click on restart, this input delay should be removed. So if it's not working, you just need to turn off your antivirus. So as you can see, this is my antivirus, is turned on right now. You don't have to right click on my antivirus, click on settings, and you come over to protection and you turn off this protection. I'm just going to turn this off for 10 minutes, which says click on yes. Come over to the HIDUSBF and I'll click on install service. I'll click on open and I'll click on restart. So that way I've been able to remove the input. As you can see, I don't have any more. I don't have any input delay anymore. So if I do this, as I said earlier, I do have FPS drop. As you can see, I'm beginning to have FPS drop because I overclocked my controller. I usually play 120 FPS and above, but whenever I do these settings, I usually drop my FPS. As you can see right here, I have crazy FPS drop. So I'm just going to turn that off. I'm just going to remove that. I'm going to uncheck the filter on, change this to default, click on install and click on restart, and I'll click on open. So that way I've been able to remove the stuff from the controller. Click on close. I'll come over to my DS4 Windows just to check. I think I need to remove this and plug it back. As you can see, my input delay is back. So that way my FPS is good. As you can see, I'm already having 90 FPS and above, but just by me doing that. So that's one of the reasons why I don't overclock my controller, because of I'm still playing on a low-end PC. I'm saving up to buy my dream PC. You guys know how expensive that is. So yeah. So the last settings you guys will be needing on your DS4 is to come over to others, and you'll be needing to change this to 1000 ms. As I said earlier, I do play on a low-end PC, so I leave. If you do change it to 1000 odds, you also be having FPS drop. Also, that's because that's if you do play on a low-end PC. But guys, trust me, if you play on an high-end PC, this is really going to make you play better. It took me a long time to discover all these settings do actually make my FPS drop. So that's why I don't really like to turn these settings on. But trust me, you can actually use the settings like this. But yeah. So also for the DS4 Windows settings, DS4 actually has its own settings. Apart from the sensitivity that we have in the controller in Warzone, you guys can still add more sensitivity settings on your Warzone. So I'm just going to be giving you my sensitivity settings for my DS4 Windows. I'll click on cancel. I'm going to be showing you guys the settings on my real profile. By default, yours is going to be like this also, because I just created this new profile. So I'm just going to be giving you guys this profile I do use. I'm just going to cancel and I'll switch over to my main profile, which is the TikTok YY, and I'll click on edit. So you guys should just follow the settings that you can see right here. Just pause this video and copy all the settings right here. So the main important part I want you guys to focus on is the right stick. So you have to turn this to 0.08. Your max dead zone should be 1, and your anti-dead zone should be 0.20. Your max output should be 1. You guys should just leave that as default. So you'll be needing to change this to the enhanced precision. So once you have changed that, it really help you guys with your aim. But as for me, as I said earlier, I do have stick drift on my controller, so that's why I'll be leaving this in linear. Because if I put it in enhanced precision, it used to give me stick drift. So haven't bought a new controller yet because, as I said, I have expenses on my head, which I'm trying to, yeah, focus on than spending a lot on all these things. So that's why I have mine in linear, but I usually do play on enhanced precision when I don't have stick drift on my controller. So I just kind of leave it in linear since I've been having stick drift and I noticed that I'm playing better that way. So I think that's all the settings for this video. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button and get this video to 50 likes. And you guys have been making more videos like this. So that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out, guys.